What's terrible is not death, but the lives people live or don't live until they die. With this line, Charles Bukowski makes his point clear right away. Life isn't meant to be merely passed through. It's meant to be lived, and there's nothing worse than reaching the end without having done so. He also wrote, "We're here to laugh at the odds and live our lives so well that death will tremble to take us." This isn't just a catchy phrase. It reads more like a manifesto of freedom, living with such intensity and authenticity that even the end becomes something that can't erase who you've been. Bukowski was born on August 16, 1920, in Andernach, Germany, into a family marked by two very different but equally harsh personalities. His father, an American of Polish and German descent, was an authoritarian and violent man. His mother, German, had a quiet and submissive nature. In 1923, the family moved to Los Angeles, United States. There, Bukowski grew up in an America on the brink of the Great Depression, in a dusty, poor neighborhood, devoid of family warmth. His childhood and teenage years were defined by constant pain. On top of his father's humiliations, he suffered from a severe form of acne that scarred his face and isolated him from other kids. During this time, he met two companions that would stay with him for life: alcohol and writing. At 13, he drank his first glass of wine, and shortly after began filling notebooks with stories and reflections. After graduating from high school, he briefly attended Los Angeles City College, studying art, journalism, and literature. But he dropped out early. He learned more from the streets and bars than from any classroom. In the 1940s, he began writing short stories and sending them to magazines, only to receive rejection after rejection. Disillusioned, he stopped writing for nearly 10 years. During that time, he lived off odd jobs: warehouses, factories, the post office. By the mid-1950s, he secured a steady job at the Los Angeles Post Office. It was monotonous, but it paid the bills. He kept it for more than 10 years, until publisher John Martin of Black Sparrow Press offered him a contract to write full-time. From there began the works that would make him famous: Post Office, Factotum, Women, Ham on Rye, Hollywood, Pulp. Direct, unembellished novels centered on his literary alter ego, Henry Chinaski, a man moving through menial jobs, complicated relationships, and endless nights of alcohol and writing. There's one thought that captures all the harshness and truth of his experience: you have to die a few times before you can really live. This isn't a poetic exaggeration, but a reflection born from his own skin. For him, those deaths weren't just about physical risk or illness. They were also failures, broken relationships, slammed doors, and years spent feeling cut off from the world. Every time a part of him fell away, another was born, sharper and more disenchanted. Only by passing through these fractures, he believed, can you learn to see life without illusions, but also without fear. Bukowski never wrote a philosophical treatise on the meaning of life, but in his novels, poems, and interviews, he left a clear idea of what it means to live. For him, giving life meaning had nothing to do with chasing a higher destiny or eternal happiness. It meant finding something, or someone, worth getting out of bed for every morning, even if it consumes you. A phrase often associated with him goes, "Find what you love and let it kill you." It's not confirmed as his, but it sums up his vision well. It's not an invitation to blind sacrifice. It's the acknowledgement that true passion is never harmless. Loving something fully means accepting the pain and where it brings. Bukowski also spoke of authenticity in concrete terms. The free soul is rare, but you know it when you see it, because you feel good, very good, when you are near them. He wasn't referring to an abstract or philosophical concept, but to an immediate, almost physical sensation. A life has meaning when it's lived with that free soul that doesn't bend, doesn't pretend, doesn't get trapped by convention. It's the freedom to say what you think, to make uncomfortable choices, to stay true to yourself even when the price is high. Those who live like this not only light their own path, but inspire those around them with a rare energy that makes life feel fuller and more real. He saw life without filters. We're all going to die, all of us. What a circus. That alone should make us love each other, but it doesn't. Here, his cynicism is clear, but so is the lucidity of someone who knows time is limited and shouldn't be wasted in waiting. In another line, he strikes even deeper. What's terrible is not death, but the lives people live or don't live until they die. What frightened him wasn't the thought of the end, but the thought of an unlived life. In one sentence, he summed up this rejection of the superficial. I don't have time for things that have no soul. It was a refusal of every mask and every empty occupation, the belief that time is too precious to waste on what doesn't truly touch the heart or mind. For him, the meaning of existence didn't lie in accumulating wealth or success, but in living authentically, even at the cost of paying a high price. Only the poor really know the meaning of life. The rich can only guess. This wasn't an idealization of poverty, but the recognition that those who've known life's hardships have a truer sense of what really matters. His answer to pain was often irony. Don't be upset because your life is miserable. Look life in the eye and laugh at it. Not a light laugh, but a way of disarming difficulties, of refusing to let life crush you. In his later years, marked by illness, he kept on writing. His last novel, Pulp, is an ironic and self-aware farewell, a noir parody that feels like an epilogue. He died on March 9, 1994. His gravestone bears two words, "Don't try." It wasn't an ode to laziness, but an invitation not to force what isn't natural. Do what comes from within, without artificial construction. Bukowski's message about the meaning of life is clear. Stop looking for answers in dogmas or distant heavens, and start looking around you and inside yourself. Choose something that makes your days less empty and live it without holding back. Accept that it will consume you, because in that very consuming, perhaps, lies the true intensity of existence.